The majority of the Superman video game attempts over the years have been failures. The Man of Steel hasn't fared as well as his fellow superheroes in video games, from the deservedly panned Superman 64 to the mediocre movie tie-in Superman Returns. However, many have asserted that Superman himself is the biggest barrier to receiving a good game. Given the enormous successes of his fellow Justice League member Batman and Rocksteady's Batman Arkham series, as well as numerous other characters, there is a widespread belief that Superman is too strong to work in a gaming environment as a result of the character's dismal track record in the genre. There haven't been many games to disprove this theory, with the character instead making the majority of his most recent game appearances as evil Superman in Injustice and Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League. Superman's idea of being overpowered works for making him a difficult foe and letting players experience his power set without the morals that would also typically accompany the character. But this doesn't fulfill the desire to become the beacon of hope that the hero should be. Superman is the epitome of a superpower, making him ideal for gaming. Superman has served as the archetype of the ultimate power fantasy ever since his inception. Power fantasies are the focus of the majority of action games. Despite this, Superman hasn't always been unbeatable in his own comics. There have always been dangers to him, such as the well-known weakness of kryptonite and magic that prevents Kryptonians from using the yellow sun's rays. All of these flaws have been used by Superman and the Justice League's greatest foes in the past, so if a video game's plot naturally incorporated them, Superman would be less invincible while still being incredibly strong. There is nothing about Superman that prevents a good game from being made, and the secret to a good superhero game seems to be telling a story that respects the character while accurately representing their world and providing a ton of ways to explore it. Superman has already been depicted in some fan-made video games flying through a procedurally generated city at various speeds and using various abilities, like super strength, to fully interact with objects and dangers in an open world. One developer even tried to imagine how Superman would fit into the world of contemporary AAA gaming using the Matrix Awakens free city sample assets in Unreal Engine 5. A Superman game might adopt the same strategy as the Batman Arkham games, which drew on decades of comic book history as well as elements from the acclaimed Batman the Animated Series. In this universe, Superman was also adapted, thanks to the John Byrne-inspired Superman the Animated Series, and, like with Batman, aspects of the character are still based on this series. When creating Metropolis, a developer could emulate Rocksteady's distinctive Gotham art direction and tone to distinguish it from other open-world cities. Superman video games are definitely needed in James Gunn's new DC universe. Later, James Gunn revealed that the studio would be producing a young Superman movie. He had previously teased that future DC games would be a part of his and Peter Safran's new DC universe. With this fresh perspective on Superman and the inclusion of video games in the DC cinematic universe, there is plenty of room for a new Superman game that could aid in developing Clark Kent's mastery of his abilities before the events of Gunn's film, which he has revealed will not center on retelling the Man of Steel's origin story. Players would be able to learn more about Superman's past and discover new powers as they progress through acts or levels if they could follow Clark's power development in a video game. With this strategy, the criticism that Superman is too powerful for games could be avoided, with players becoming stronger and gaining more control as the game goes on. Superman's role in video games is uncertain, but Rocksteady will debut its interpretation of the venerable figure in Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Many are also wondering if this could result in a spin-off title because it is unlikely that the game will follow through with its namesake and actually kill the Justice League of the Arkhamverse so soon after introducing them. If so, it would be nice to see the negative connotation associated with Superman video games finally dispelled by adapting successful elements from other forms of entertainment and finally bestowing the modern moniker on the original superhero. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.